Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Maize Man. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, share this with your friends and family on social media, and of course, subscribe. Today, we have elite Michigan quarterback target in the 2027 class, Trae Taylor, telling us what he did during the COVID period to stay on top of his game and much more. And of course, no disrespect, respectfully, but disrespectfully is disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans, poor little bro them. And I'ma tell them why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, the other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset.
Like a whole bunch of weight was lifted off my shoulders. So
no doubt. Burks from the chat actually brought this up. You go to the school with the most state championships in the state of Illinois.
I wish I did, but nah.
Okay.
I go to Carmel Catholic. That's Mount Carmel. We play them. We played them 2 years ago. But I hope we get to play them again. It's always a fun time playing Mount Carmel. So
no doubt. When you played them, did you guys come up with the win?
We did not. They've had a good little group come through.
Yeah.
But I feel like now coming up pretty soon, I feel like we could catch them. But I wish that we had the most state championships. Hopefully we can turn that around. But yeah.
You'll get there.
No doubt. Yeah. Shout out to Burks for the bad information. Thanks a lot.
It's all right.
But anyway, you've been being recruited for a very long time. You're only 16 now, but it must feel like half your life you've been being recruited by these elite level institutions. And I brought up backstage how this is the first time I've seen this. You have huddle film from like 3rd grade. That's amazing, by the way. I wish my film in 3rd grade was even good enough to rewatch today, just on a basic football level. It wasn't, but you were so good that you could have huddle film from 3rd grade. When was it that you knew, football was what you wanted to do and to, go after?
So before I get into that, I'm going to touch on like the film a little bit. That's actually shout out to my dad. He was the one, like when Huddle first came out, he was on it right away. We would watch the film of the game, see what we could fix, little league stuff, which is kind of crazy when you think about it today. But really, I feel like the moment I wouldn't say feel like I had it, because that's something like I always have felt like I'm the best player on the field just because of what I do to prepare. But the moment like I really started like loving the game and knowing this is what I wanted to do was really, I feel like during the COVID years is when I really committed to it. There was nothing else really to do, and I know a lot of people really weren't really trying to get the work in and work done. So, me and my dad, and my mom, we went out. We basically brought the gym to us. We got my whole garage has a rack, leg press, everything you need. So we started lifting. We go throw outside. I would do footwork drills as far as drops and moving around in the pocket, and in socks on my hardwood floor to focus on keeping balance. So I feel like that's when I really started falling in love with the game and like knowing like this is what I really want to do.
No doubt. My knees hurt thinking about dropping back on with socks on hardwood. Go ahead, guys.
Yes. So Trae, you speaking about, some of these workouts, like you said, y'all brought the gym to you guys. So can you just go through a day of Trae Taylor? What is your day from morning till you go to sleep? Can you just, run us through that?
Yeah. So I'll get up around like 4:50, 4:45, hop on a Zoom call at about 5 o'clock. I'll be on that call for about an hour. Leave for school at about 6:30, maybe 6:45. School's from 8 to 3. And then right now, actually, we have open lift upstairs. in our weight room. So I'll for about maybe 30 minutes go in there, uh, really just do shoulder stuff and work on rotational power, and then come home, get a quick bite, and then head out to lift. And I'll usually lifting is a little longer because right now we're focusing on strength and not conditioning as much since we just got out of season. So I'll lift from about like 7 to 9, get home. Really, if I have any homework, do that, and then that's really about it.
Mm. And what is your diet consist of? Is there any restrictions? Do you have a cheat day? Well, how's your diet?
Really, so for me, there's really no diet as far as like cheat meals and stuff. I do try and keep it as clean as possible. Obviously, there's going to be the snacks here and there, but try and keep it as clean as possible. My mom, she's a good cook, so
Ah,
she'll usually cook up some stuff, whether it's chicken or fish, something with high protein, just to make sure I'm putting the weight on in the off season.
okay. So no double whopper with cheese, you're saying?
I mean, maybe like a Friday night or something, but nah, not during the week. I usually keep it pretty clean. I feel like
What
so.
what are some of your favorite like hobbies or interests that you when you have time, in between your schedule or an off day, what kind of stuff outside of football do you enjoy doing when it's not so serious all the time?
So I'll go hang out with friends a lot. I mean the college football 25 game came out, so I'll be playing that with my friends. Probably later than I should be, but we'll be on the game doing that. And really just relaxing. I travel so much and I'm doing so much all the time that when I can get that time to just really do nothing, I really take advantage of it. So those would be really the biggest things I do outside of football.
Maze and I like to get on that game a lot too, so I'm going to ask you a question about the game. Your go-to team and go-to playbook.
So actually, I don't really have a go-to team, but Michigan's playbook, like I really just found out about it. They got some deep plays in there. I'm not gonna
Mm.
lie, they got some deep plays, but I
Oh,
I
blue.
usually I I usually play with a team where I can run with the quarterback a little bit. So uh, Michigan, South Carolina, Alabama, teams like that. So
Cool, cool.
Absolutely. Keep the pressure on that defense.
will do.
Speaking of that, are you a dual threat quarterback? What do you like to do? I saw, in clips that I've seen of you, I've seen you make throws on the run, and things like that. But do you consider yourself dual threat? Do you consider yourself a pocket passer? What is it?
So like me, I do consider myself a dual threat, but when I am in the pocket, I deliver the ball very cleanly,
Hmm.
and very accurate. So I would consider myself a dual threat though because I can run very effectively, and a lot of teams struggled with that this year sometimes in big moments. We'd be in a third down situation, and them not really knowing I could run helped us sometimes this year. So really, and I know when to get down and when to get the first down, right? So in those third down situations, I'm gonna go get it. Like we're,
Absolutely.
we're gonna move the chains, but
With your style of quarterback, do you have any quarterbacks that you kind of looked up to, took inspiration from, kind of took parts of their game, modeled your game after, in pro or college? Like who did you watch like
yeah.
that?
So I would say the biggest ones that I watch right now are Aaron Rodgers and C.J. Stroud. Um, I'm a huge fan of C.J. Stroud actually, and then Jaden Daniels. So I'd say
Mm.
throwing motion wise, I 100% Aaron Rodgers. Like I try and take the quick release, the way he rotates off platform awkward throws. Um, C.J. Stroud, I really do like because of how clean he delivers the football from the pocket. I mean, he rarely misses. And then Jaden Daniels with how good he throws the ball outside the pocket and also and can run. So I feel like those would be the three that I truly watch right now.
I know I've
I
heard
mean,
CJ Stroud ask that same question. He always gives one name. He always says Matthew Stafford. What do you think about his game?
So I am a huge fan of Matthew Stafford. I think he's a very underrated quarterback. But I feel like when you can take more than like when you can take more from multiple people than taking more from one person. So, he looks at Matthew Stafford. Well, that means I'm kind of looking at Matthew Stafford because CJ
Right.
Stroud is taking some of his game, and it kind of just
yeah,
goes on from that. So
It's awesome.
yeah. I know. Trey, I know you are a 2027 recruit. Is there any possibility of you perhaps reclassifying to the 2026 class, or that's not an option?
no, I will not be reclassifying to the 2026 class. I will be graduating a semester early though. So
Okay.
So are you
And
looking at then in the 27 class to do an early enrollee type thing?
yes.
all right.
Absolutely.
And
Speaking
yeah.
of or not even reclassifying, but graduating early, obviously 2027. Is it important for you for whatever school you commit to have that commitment done in enough time where you can get on put your recruiting hat on yourself, and get out and recruit other, members of your class? Because I feel like what I've noticed is, especially for quarterbacks, maybe most importantly for quarterbacks, right? When they commit early, it has a bigger effect on that class. Is that something that you plan to do?
100%. I want to go get my guys that I know,
Hmm.
and there's some playmakers. So, you know, I don't know if you guys really know who you guys probably will though. Anthony Cartwright.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Um, so me and him are pretty tight. I probably talk to him every day. We're on the game together. We talk like it's every day we talk. So like that'd be a kid I'd love to play with in college. I feel like it'd be a different level of connection. We played 7-on-7 this year, and obviously he's a big body, can move pretty well. So, that would be like, for instance, a kid that I would love to play with. And me recruiting early would probably give me a little bit of an understand or a little bit of a jump head start on getting to the school I go to.
No doubt. We got an actual good question from the chat here. Shout out to Groove. Um, Trey, understanding the rivalry with the Suck Guys of Ohio, they got a commitment from 2027 5-star quarterback Brady Edmond. Has that caught your eye as a potential quarterback matchup between the two of you?
Um, I'm gonna say no. Like it would be obviously you want to play against some of the kids that you see are in your class right now, but you know, I hope all for Brady. Congratulations to him getting that
Mhm.
process done for him already and finding the school that he really wants to go to. So, congratulations to him, and I hope big things come his way.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So to allude to Madman's question, Trey, um, do you do you have a timeline for when you're gonna commit to a school?
Yeah.
And more importantly, I'm sorry, is a two part question. And what is it they're gonna take for a school to convince you to go there? What is it that you're looking for from these schools in particular? Because I know you're taking these visits, but I know in the back of your mind you're taking notes like, listen, I need X, Y, and Z. And I know we're not talking money. I'm just talking about that this is home. What's going to make one of these schools to Trey and say this is home?
You want to know
So,
what your three green check marks are for your
yep.
interests on
So really, the timeline for me is before my junior season starts. Um, that's realistically my timeline that I really want to push for and to happen. Um, I feel like the big three things that would really is what I'm looking for is what education, like academics. What are we looking at? Do you have my major and minor, and what type of successful people have come from your programs, and then also development, who's going to develop me to play at the next level, and not only physically but mentally, and understand, what am I looking at out on the field even more than I do now. And then the third thing is like personality, like I don't want like I'm very good at telling a two-faced person, like somebody that's you know really likes me right now because I'm a recruit that they really want, and then I can tell like, oh, that's gonna change as soon as I get on campus. So that's why I love going to spring practices. Like it really shows you what they're like with their players on a daily basis.
Mm.
But really, like how do I match up with you outside of football? Like, are you somebody that I can consider family?
Mm.
So and how do you fit with my personality, not only you but also like the kids on the teams right now. So like I love trying to connect with commits that they have there right now, because you guys will be my future teammates if I come, and who I'm going to be around basically every day. And then also and personality is a big one, so it covers a lot because it means a lot to me. um, just on campus wise, like how do I fit into the genuine population of the school right now? So, really,
Absolutely.
those are the
I'm
three
sorry.
big things.
Kinetic,
Mm.
before you go, we do have a couple questions from the chat.
Actually,
Um,
my next question is going to go off of the super chat. So after you do that,
sure. Uh, do you have a quarterback coach? I know the answer to this, but for the people who don't.
I do. Donovan Dooley's quarterback universe, and then quarterback university, and then also Steve Wilson out of North Carolina.
Absolutely. Also, my guy Troy says, "Are there any other sports that you enjoy?"
Um,
Enjoy.
so I used to play basketball. I was a pretty good basketball player. COVID hit. Kind of hard to get into a gym, especially in Illinois. Like you really now you're limited to about
yeah,
6
everything was
months of
shut
true
down.
basketball season you could play, because the other 6 it's gonna be freezing and snow, and just was never really dedicated to it like I was with football. So I played up to my 8th grade year. Might come back in high school, but I don't know. I like playing
What
pickup right now, just having fun with it.
what
Right.
type of basketball player were you? And it, kind of like my question earlier, who was your favorite basketball player?
So they really played me at all 5, because I was big enough to play with the centers and power forwards, but fast enough to keep up with the guards and shooting guards. Um,
Okay.
so they kind I would say I was a power forward, but I really played all of them. And
Okay.
then I like Ant Edwards. That's probably like my favorite player right now. I just like everything about him. I like his swag. I like how he is mentally and attacks the game.
It's awesome.
Absolutely.
That load off.
Another one.
Drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about Trae Taylor, what you think about Michigan's prospects of landing him, all of that. And be sure to follow me everywhere at Maize Madman. Be sure to tune in Monday for Eminem Monday. We welcome Darren from Darren Talks Ball. Until next time, stay angry, my friends. I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. Now, ladies, we're about to go through the
All right, now I'ma calm down. So I'ma calm down, son. I just don't get that all that Mace and that lock and all that. I just don't get it, son, for real.
Just calm
And how the